Alright, this is going to be a demonstration on using NC Host for the PULSE system MagneMotion. You want to locate this icon right here. Sorry about the shakiness. Go over, give it a double click. That will open up your MagneMotion window. Then over here at the top, this is where you need to type in the IP address for the node controller you want to talk to. Once that's entered, you have two choices: status, or you can do the drop down menu, which I usually do, which is control. Then you hit connect. As you notice on the side now, it pops up, it says we have a vehicle 2 on path 1, gives you the destination, the position. One of the things to note here is the velocity. If you notice, it's fluctuating right now because it has a vehicle on there. This is the cell that we're using. You notice it's just our training cell. We got a vehicle there. It's over a full-size motor. And over here we have 2 half-meter motors. Right now, this vehicle is on path 1, and path 2 is empty. Now, some of the things that are useful with this, I'm going to slide this screen over a little bit, is using the status commands. Right here, launch status windows. Our main ones we use are paths, nodes, motors. So for instance, I'm now going to click on paths, which is highlighted, and that right there is now showing us we have 2 paths that are out there. I call this the go green screen because you want everything to be green, and it's just telling you that everything's okay. I'm going to slide this over to the side a little bit. The other one we have is motors. So now I'm going to go to that. I'm going to click on that. Now when this comes up by default, you have get status, and at the top you'll see path ID, motor, and period, the time you want to watch. Usually if you just leave this in its default state, all you need to do is click status, and now that'll tell you, let's get this thing focused. That'll sit there and tell you your path and the status. As you can tell, there's no faults. I'll go ahead and create an e-stop or something and show you the difference. What I've done is hit the e-stop. You'll notice now on the paths, it's telling us that we have a fast stop present on all of them. And if we go back to the motors, they still say no active faults. This right here you have to update manually, so you hit get status. Now it's telling us that path 1 and 2 have a movement suspended and fast stop by node controller. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to reset that stop. Now you'll notice the path status up here, everything has gone back to go green. But once again, our motors still say that they're suspended and fast stop. I have to hit the get status again. Now it says no active faults. There's other things you can do with the motor status, but right now I always find it easier if you have multiple paths just to manually update the get status. I'm going to close these windows out. And let's go back over here. Move this in the center. One of the other things you can do with it is, like I said, if you notice, we have vehicle 2 on path 1. This is its current position, which we're seeing right there. And our velocities, that's a key thing for noting ghosts, which I go over in another video, but not now. If I click on this right here, I just highlight it, you'll notice down here under the manual commands, it's now loaded all that information. We have vehicle 2, it's on path 1, this is its current position, and by default it has an acceleration and a velocity there, which is extremely slow, but just to test to see if the vehicle's working or moving, I just leave it there. The key thing to remember is this right here, the PID loop. You have to know which one to pick. Usually, as long as you're going slow, you can just hit loaded or the second PID loop, 1 or 2. You're not gonna hurt nothing. So now that I did that, I can come over here and just say, I want to change this to path 2. So now if you notice, I switched this from a 1 to a 2. So now we got vehicle 2, but we're gonna tell it to go to path 2 at this velocity. Just by doing that, I can just hit move to position. And if you notice out there, our vehicle moved. And like I said, this is just a quick review to give people an understanding. You look over here, now it says vehicle 2 is on path 2, and the velocity is fluctuating, so we know it's a live vehicle. You'll also get your diagnostic output here. As you give it commands, it'll tell you the commands that were given, if it's accepted or not accepted. So once again, that's just a quick review of the MagneMotion NC Host. This is great for diagnostics, troubleshooting, especially if you feel like you're not getting faults on the HMI properly or anything to that extent.